What is up, my ducks and drakes? Welcome to the Crowded Lake, and today we are reading Chapter 4 of What's Wrong With Me, a Cats the Musical Tuggstoffelees fanfic. Chapter 4 does have the titular title, What is Wrong With Me? And with that, let's jump right into it. What is wrong with me? All at once, though, he felt all the pressure leave his body. He could tell nothing else was clinging to him, but he still couldn't unclench. Everything just felt too much. The tiniest of squeaks in the junkyard rang out to him like he was rang out to him like a gong that was hit right in his skull. The moment his body knew that there was no one else there to touch him, he collapsed to the ground, curling his legs in and knocking on the lower part of his head and upper part of his neck. He couldn't notice from the panic, but he was humming aggressively and without any sense of pitch. Mr.Mistoffelees felt overridden by these feelings of gravity reversing farther and lifting him up into the air. When this happened as a kid, he had his father, Buster Jones, and he'd come and put pressure on his mid-torso. That helped Misto feel like he was real and he was able to get through things. But that was with his father. The only other cats who have helped him were Munkustrap and Rum Tum. Just then, Misto felt like he could start to breathe again. He felt weight. He felt real. He felt connected to the earth. The static faded from his ears, just enough to hear Tugger's voice. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. They're gone, Mistoffelees. You're safe. I promise. He could hear, but he felt frozen and out of control. He wanted to breathe. He wanted to feel present, to save Tugger the trouble, but it's just like he thought. He was a burden to his family and friends because he can't handle such stupid and simple things. This just compelled Misto to go deeper, his ears once again filled with static, and this time he felt himself tremble, shaking, vibrating as if he were water boiling over in a pot. He used his paws to grab onto his ears, folding them down and just wanting to rip them off to get rid of the noise that surrounded him. But just then, he felt more weight. He felt his chest heave closer to the ground and feel more connected. He was now more aware of how fast he was hyperventilating, and the static in his ears calmed down once more, mimicking calm waves to an ocean rather than a blaring TV. Misto focused on the weight, let it guide and control his breathing. The weight had one hold on his chest, the other his stomach. Misto opened his eyes, relaxing his face just enough to see Tugger hovering over him. His hips were pressed down into his stomach while one arm pressed to his chest. The other paw was being used to brush back the fur that had been pushed the wrong way. Tugger, while not saying a word, was going back and forth from picking up his breathing to match Misto's speed and bringing it back down gradually to a deep breath. He was hoping that the feel of the breathing on his stomach would bring Misto down with him. And it did work. After a few minutes, he felt himself stop humming and all of his muscles deflated in exhaustion, unclenching and relaxing upon the dirt floor. Tugger hovered still over Misto, trying not to make any sudden movements that could overwhelm him. He wanted to stay put, as is until Misto felt safe enough to get up. That's when he noticed that Misto was matching his deep breathing. He was finally coming back to him. Misto opened his eyes, made direct eye contact with Tugger, quickly looking to the side to avoid looking directly at him. Tugger spoke in a soft tone, whispering comfortably. Hey, feel better now, baby? This time, Misto broke down. But not into the oblivion of the static, but into tears. He sobbed out, crying at what Tugger asked him. He was so grateful he had such a good friend to take care of him and know exactly what he needs, but also, he was a baby. He was just a stupid baby who couldn't handle anything on his own. He always needed a chaperone, Tugger got off of him and held him close to his chest, knowing that Misto felt relaxed against him. Tugger, for the time being, just let Misto cry it out as he gave him back scratches and little cheek kisses. Once Misto noticeably calmed his crying, Tugger took his paw and used it to caress Misto's face, holding it up for Misto to face him. Misto, when you're ready to talk to me. Until that, no, I'll be right here, and we could stay here until you're ready to get up. You always have me. Tug was just far too sweet to Misto. He felt like shit and all blushy all at once. It, for once, was a good type of overwhelmed, being overwhelmed with love. I don't need to talk about anything. Just kind of freaked out. Tugger squinted at his smaller companion. Hun, I've known you since we were kittens. I know what it looks like when you're panicked, but crying just now is usually not part of the whole thing. What broke you down like that? Misto sighed, letting his heart get slower in his thoughts. The heat and rising and falling of Tugger's chest be the safety net he needed to actually talk to him. I just don't know what's wrong with me. I can't handle anything. Conversation, eye contact, getting attention. Because of this, I'm treated like a kitten, but I've been a grown cat for quite some time. But also, I act like a baby, so of course I'm treated like one. Especially now, since I saved Old Dude at the Jellicle Ball. I thought I proved myself and finally overcame these feelings I get that just make the world too much, but it just seems like it's going to get worse. I'm sorry. Tugger immediately shushed the small cat, shivering in his arms. No sorries. I care about you. That's exactly what Tugger had said to Monkeystrap just the night before. He remembers what he thought to himself about his perspective. I care about you, and you are worth so much to me. I'm sorry for undermining you. You've grown up to be an amazing cat. The way you process the world is just different, and that's okay. You are worthy of the help you need, and you're worthy of love. I will always love you, and if you want to feel more independent, we can work on ways together that make you feel safer and more in control of yourself. Some regulating tips or things you could do to help yourself. Misto felt almost relieved that Tugger wasn't annoyed, but whatever he thought Tugger was going to feel, Misto felt towards himself. He knew it was different. He knew that he couldn't live completely like the other cats, no matter what he did. Thanks a lot, Tug, but that doesn't mean anything. I still just don't know what's wrong with me. Why am I like this? Why can't I handle anything? Why can't I just be normal? Tugger ruffled Misto's head. Who said you're not normal? Who said any of us were normal, by human standards or by cat standards? I'd say by any standards, you're you, and that is pretty normal. Misto took a deep breath, not fully believing Tugger, but he didn't have anything more to add since he'd just be making the same arguments. The same thoughts and ideas floating around his head. Okay, Tug, I'll take your word for it. Tugger picked Misto up, carrying him bridal style. I'm sure you're exhausted. What would you like to do now, lovely? Lovely caught Misto by surprise, even more than Hun did. It amplified the safety that Tugger had him feeling. Nothing can touch him, nothing can hurt him. He could only be surrounded by the unexplainable warmth. Wherever you'd like to go, I'm still happy to follow. Tugger shrugged. Good. I want to go back home then. I wanted to from the moment I stepped out. This just made Misto chuckle as he rested his head on Tugger's chest. Thank you so much for listening. If you'd like to listen to more, hit that subscribe button and click the bell so you're notified when I upload another chapter next week. In the description, there's also a Google form to recommend fics that I read in the future. Yippee! It doesn't need to be from Wattpad either, despite the namesake of this series. It could be from any fanfiction site. Yippee! Yahoo! With that being said, much like Tugger trying to help Misto, do your best.